All right, everybody, get ready for this episode of Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. Real excited about this tonight. We're doing things a little, we jump around genres, and now we're gonna go a little country.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to get back to some country.
Back to some roots.
Yeah. Tonight we have Coleton Black, so has like a rich country music heritage here in town, and so it's going to be interesting to hear these songs and the stories.
Yeah, well, we have Coleton Black on. We're going to be having some Deca beers. We're also going to have some no-label beers. Tom Painter's going to join us as well. We're going to eat some Frank's Pizza. It's going to be a fun night.
Well, I say what?
For the fellowship.
This is Vinyl Voices Radio. ESPN 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm John Dimon.
Jesse Sandejas.
All right, everybody, welcome to Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. I'm John Denman. He's Justin Dejas, and tonight we have a fun little it's gonna be a fun little swinging time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like just talking country music is that's imperative in this city. You have to be able to. We haven't done enough of that, so I think it's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah, so we're going back to some country roots, and our guest tonight, Coleton Black.
Howdy. Glad to be here.
Tom Painter's hanging out, and we'll get into the reason why Tom's sitting on the couch as well, a little later in the show. But Tom Painter, some no-label brewery, and even though he didn't bring any no-label brewery, we're drinking some Deca beer tonight, which is also delicious, right down the street from where we record the show.
That's on me. I forgot a little bit, but it's the new year. We just went through a freeze.
Right.
And I think it froze, my head up a little.
Next, he's going to bring up COVID. And
Oh, yeah.
The freeze was earlier today, John.
so, Coleton,
Yes, sir.
you make some good music, man.
Thank you.
Yep. And I've seen you over at No Label a couple times,
Jamming out.
jamming out.
Having a good time.
It's always a good place to play music, too.
Absolutely. Not on a night like tonight, but yeah. Usually pretty
like
solid.
4 months out of the year, it's like the perfect place to play
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, either 102 with that sun coming right at you or pretty frigid. So, yeah. I love it.
Listen, when the sun is shining and Colton's playing, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
This is a beautiful
Right in the pocket.
Oh, the first time he played, it was
Oh, it was atrocious night.
It was
It was New Year's Eve, and it was like,
What year was that?
that was 2020, probably.
Oh, it was that year.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
It was wet and it was cold, and we had to go inside the bar room there, but we had a good time. We salvaged.
We had a dumpster fire New Year's. where people, we actually put just a dumpster fire in the middle of our yard. People wrote their memories of 2020. They threw it in.
Yeah.
And we needed a last minute act, or we needed an act where we'd never been done a New Year's before, like a New Year's Eve thing. Craft breweries at that time really did it.
Close.
Yeah. Then it was like, there's this guy Coleton Black. He's related to Clint Black, and it's like, okay, sure. Well, we can't afford him. And it's like, oh, you don't even know him. Like he's a really cool guy. Yada yada yada. Went through a friend of a friend of a friend, and then we got connected. And now Colton's on my phone, so now it's just kind of like.
Yeah, I think I had sent a few emails and going, hey, do y'all mind if I come up and play? I never got a response, and then of course I got will you come play in the ice and the rain? And I got there. In fact, I'd never been there. I pulled up the truck. I'm going, there's nobody out there. The park, that main area, y'all didn't have all the tables there at the time, and it was just, I'm going, this is disaster. This is my first time coming here. I've been wanting to play here. It's such a cool place, and it's a total disaster. But like I said, we salvaged. Everybody had a good time, at least in my eyes, while I was up there. I got the bird's eye view from up on wherever I'm playing, and it seemed like everybody was either drunk enough to have a good time or were enjoying themselves. So
We've had a few shows like that, but Where I mean, even
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the Thanksgiving shows this year, or like
Yeah.
right before Thanksgiving, like there's a water pipe work that was happening, so they shut down water, and so we couldn't open. So Colton's there. It's like, am I playing for
Practicing,
anyone?
practicing. Free practice stage.
But it's been a great relationship the past few years.
Yeah.
And that's how I got on board with him, and was bringing people together for his album, which is the reason he's here.
That's why I'm here. Yeah, I was gonna say.
But
Yeah, no, Tom's been extremely supportive, and so I appreciate the hell out of that. It's kind of rare that somebody goes out of their way to help you get something done, and that's just in a business relationship, and he definitely went out of his way to help me get the record going and all that. So, yeah, thanks, and I'm hoping for big things, and we shall see.
yeah, you're on an adventure.
Yeah.
Luckily, you have family connections that will hopefully help.
Yeah, well,
Or at least like put the gutters up.
Put a little fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
stoke a little of the fire, yeah.
That's it. Poke it and prod a little bit.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
No, it's super cool, man. Like I said, I saw you over there, and I'm like, man, just singing some good songs, sounds really good. And whenever you sent the songs over to us to listen to, the first song, which was, what's the first song?
Any Angel.
Any angel can fall, yeah.
Yeah, Any Angel Can Fall. So I listened to that one, I'm like, man, that's a good song.
Yeah, it's got the kind of old, older country feel.
It brings
to
you back.
Yeah. Well, I always say that I'm kind of stuck. I'm stuck in the 90s, and it's hard for me to get big on the train of new.
I don't know. I don't even know what that feels like, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's been I go, man, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here, but all I can do is what I enjoy doing. That's what you're gonna hear. So is what it is.
Yeah.
Got to do what you feel is the right thing. Be yourself. So I didn't want to go in and try to make too much cookie cutter stuff. As we were talking chat GTP, I could have just said, write me a hit, please. And instead, I went my own route. Maybe after this whole thing's over, I'm gonna look back and go, well, chat GPT is looking pretty good now. But well,
I don't think so.
Hopefully that's not the case.
I don't think, especially listening to this song, because it's so self-reflective, just kind of like, I think that, we've been messing around with the AI stuff for the past couple of weeks, just creating these ridiculous songs, but
It's fun. It doesn't.
It is fun.
It doesn't
It is
pull
fun.
like reality emotion into
Right.
it, right? I mean, not yet.
Yeah.
Give it like another.
Give it
update.
another 6 months or so.
Yeah.
we'll
it'll
right
be
there.
sentient then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's listen to the song.
Six strings, and everyone is tugging on you. I keep writing these songs, hoping one just might do. But time after time, they don't get through. And here's how I felt, and you never knew. I felt betrayed by the thoughts in my mind. I was always in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's not to say it's not my fault. as any angel can fall. 6 strings, rusted, broken, and used. The writing is done. I've gone through all that I knew. There's no music left. There's no words that'll do to explain how I felt and why you never knew. I felt betrayed by the thoughts in my mind. I was always in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's not to say it's not my fault. If I have learned anything, it's any angel can fall. If I have learned anything, it's any angel can fall.
All right. Any angel? I mean, it sounds like almost like a sad stripper story.
Yeah.
Almost.
So
Wow.
I guess in that context, I would have been the stripper if that's the. So
Dang,
that
this took a
was.
turn.
That's a yeah. I had only hey getting light. You know, he did spill half of it, so. No, so that one is based on true events. That's kind of one of those in my younger days. I was a little bit of a bad dude when it came to girls. Had my
As in, like, good bad or bad bad?
well,
Depends.
so yeah, that whole song's about being unfaithful. So, whatever bad that is, I'd say that's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. But yeah, I mean
no.
that's
Makes for great music.
I
though.
do better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
do
song.
better at writing. So that whole thing was kind of the first verse is talking about kind of trying to write out. I wouldn't say an apology, but writing songs to try to either get yourself through it or get her back possibly, and then realizing none of these words are gonna work. It's too far gone, and it ain't gonna happen no matter how. I've been busting these strings for too long now, and I realize that it's over and it's not gonna work, and learning from that. So I definitely had to learn. I had to learn the hard way on that.
Based on some life
you know,
events.
yeah. Based on depressing, real life events. So,
So we're bringing up some old memories. Now.
but learn a lesson. It's one of those things I always say. You either learn from somebody teaching you, or you learn the hard way. And as my parents would both say, I definitely learned the hard way on almost everything growing up. So that was no different. Yeah. So now I've learned that lesson though. Moving forward, hey,
Yeah, you
I
can,
either learned it or I wouldn't have, and just kept being the, I guess I could have gotten some more songs out of it, but
Could have been another #1 hit there
yeah,
somewhere.
there you go. Yeah, I'm in a relationship, so I can take a dive on this one and try to create some more jams out of it.
No, you can go wrong in other parts of
Yeah,
your life.
I can't wait for
Yeah,
her. I can't wait for her to see that. Yeah,
I mean, there was also a lot of great music written on heroin as well. I mean, but
Your relationship can be good. Everything else
yeah.
you really
yeah.
go down.
As long as you're both just happy doing heroin.
I mean, there's another country song.
Yeah, happy doing heroin.
why does heroin keep coming up when we have a country accent here? Because same thing happened with Broken Spokes.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they were
Common
talking
theme.
about like digging your grave with a spoon.
They were.
And I was like, is that a heroin reference?
Next country act that comes on, just say, all right, so guys,
heroin?
about heroin,
Let's just get it out of the way.
what's y'all's experience?
we have a methadone clinic here to assist.
We have a few numbers for you to call.
Yes.
Well, there's no heroin in that song, but
Yeah, I know there's no heroin.
But there is a lot of regret. I mean,
Yeah.
you can totally hear it just in the tune of the song, and
Yeah.
irrespective. I mean, when you start reading the lyrics too, then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what's going down.
Well,
But
yeah, that was written pretty quick, in an actual, depressing time. So, that's probably why it comes through, because it was a real. I didn't wait 6 months. I was kind of after I made a mistake and started trying to figure out how maybe I could correct it.
yeah, is that
Then realizing I couldn't, so then I pulled out the 6 string and then wrote that song, and then said, you know what, I should share this with the world. Share my pain
How long
with the
have you
world.
been writing this album?
How long?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like I'm writing this album. It was, some of these songs have been written a long time ago. Fake ID was written also out of reality. So
okay?
if you take that into account,
Right.
we're talking.
Might have been a
That
little
was
bit.
that was the song where my dad always said, "Well, I know my son's drinking now," because I showed up at the we used to play together, and I showed up one night and I said, "Dad, I got a song I wrote," and played that song, and he looked at me and goes, "Is that a true story?" Well, and I was 16,
No,
15
Dad.
or something. Yeah.
Even speaking with
it's
the officer
written
part
off
too.
other- hey, like I said, most of my stuff's written off reality. So yeah, hey, there's a reason I'm gonna keep it to 1 or 2 of these bad boys. So yeah.
Well, I mean, they're also,
So far, I'm not painting myself in a very good light here. You need to get
that's
to
what
one
the
or
show's all
other.
about.
I need to stop writing about myself.
we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Been pretty open so far. So
This is actually an intervention.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, Cole.
So back to the heroin.
So,
No.
all right, let's take a break and grab a little slice of Frank's Pizza. Crack open another one of these big deck of beer cans that we have right here.
Yeah.
And we'll get back and we'll talk about the song that you were just talking about, actually. So this is Vinyl Voices Radio on ESPN. We'll be right back.
We've been playing games long enough. I think you know how I feel. I'm not just fooling around. I think you know that it's real.
For over 30 years, the attorneys at Adley Law Firm have helped navigate their clients through car and truck accidents, premise liability claims, and other types of personal injury cases. They are board certified and have an aggressive reputation with insurance companies, and their caring approach to clients has made them one of Houston's best Google-reviewed personal injury firms. Live chat now with an Adley Law Firm representative at adleylawfirm.com or call 713-999-8669 for a free consultation. No fees unless they win your case. 713-999-8669. Key T Wellness, our friends down in Dickinson, is where you need to go if you're feeling sluggish, non-energetic, and non-motivated, not just when you're hungover.
Get to know your numbers. As we get a little older, our hormone levels change, men and women. KT Wellness can help. Weight loss, hormone optimization, low testosterone, B12, Botox, and more. KTWellness.com. Why not feel your best again? KTWellness.com.
Welcome to Vinyl Voices with your hosts, John Denman and Jesse Sendejas. Grab a drink and get ready to dive into some badass music. Take it away, boys.
All right, we are back on. This is Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. He's Justin Dejas. I'm John Denman. We're hanging out with Coleton Black and Tom Painter. So, got another song to listen to.
Oh, yeah. Which one is this?
Yeah, you kind of teased it last segment. Fake ID.
Fake ID, yeah. Yeah, let's hear this.
It's a song 15 years in the making.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for a lot of people right now. They might be, they understand this song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a timeless subject.
Well, I mean, it also tells a story.
Yeah.
It starts in the beginning, and then it just, here's
middle
how
and
the
the
night
end.
starts.
Yeah.
Then there's middle, and there's the
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't this a testament to all great country songs, though? That like country songs are like old school country, right?
Yeah, tell the story.
It's a very complete. It's like story, right?
It finishes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're reading a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this one ends in a bad place.
Yeah.
Colton, things are gonna turn around.
That's what I said.
They are going to turn. Yeah.
If not, there's another country song there.
Yeah.
You got a second album coming.
Yes.
All right, let's listen to the song.
Looking low, so I decided to make a run. Walked in with my 4-day beard and tried to look 21. I went on to the back of the aisles, my face started to sweat. Walked back to the front of the store and said, this is what I'm gonna get. I want a 6-pack of Shiner, a case of Coors Light. I want me some Wilder to get us through the night. One bottle of Jaeger, another bottle of Beam. Well, I ain't 21, sir, but here's my fake ID. Then much to my surprise, he rang up on the goods. I turned and hit the doorway as fast as I could. And then a cop with a bright light and a big old shiny badge. He shined that light right in my eye and said, what you got in the bag? I said, a 6-pack of Shiner, a case of Coors Light. I got me some Wilder to get us through the night. One bottle of Jack, another bottle of Beam. Well, I ain't 21, officer, but here's my fake ID. Some Coors Light, and he took my Wilder that was gonna get us through the night. And my bottle of Quavo, my bottle of Beam. Well, I ain't 21, y'all, so he took my fake ID. Well, he took my fake ID. Get that phone call now?
Everybody has the under 21 drinking story.
Yeah, I got a few of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
we were just talking about how that. So he grew up in Katy, Texas. And how no label. We're at. There's like 4 rice dryers.
Right.
But he's like yeah, a bunch of our friends, they get beer and whatever, and then they would break into the
and climb up them and that's kind of, I feel like that's almost
There's a rite of passage, right?
There's more people
Katy?
there's more people that did that than probably not.
I was talking to Shannon Parker, and she told me some more stories because she grew up in Katy, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we break into the rice dryers and climb up and fool around and like get drunk, and it's just kind of like, geez, how many people are going up there? Like, what happens if you ran into Coleton?
Maybe a beer. She did.
Need a fake ID?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
No, but same thing though. Like off of a lot of people don't know this. Well, I know Jesse does and Jason does and all this, but there used to be like rice dryers. The rice factory was right off of Allen Parkway, between Allen Parkway and Washington, off of Montrose. And was it Montrose or was it Wall?
I think it was Wall.
I think it was Wall. Yeah. And so that used to be. I got a good friend from middle school over here, Billy, who's shaking his head right now because we spent a lot of time running around in these places under 21, doing not exactly legal 21 things and all that. Same thing. But it was one of those where probably the same thing where in Katy, you're up, you're high. Yeah. And all of a sudden there's a hole in the ground that drops down like, I don't know, 200 feet, or something. And it's like, just run around having a good time.
Well, historic buildings for a reason, right? Like, they haven't been operated like 60
all
years.
those-
But the thing was that they didn't think that they should close these things off back then. I mean, there was like free roaming. We just went there, and if you heard other people like, oh, let's run. It was like we're not supposed to be here, but neither were they.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was just probably your other friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one we got back from doing a beer run, and we always kind of switched off who had to go in and try to make it happen, and it was always so we'd always be getting so much more than one person looking that young needed at the time, but get 4 cases, 5 cases or whatever, so they'd go and stack them all up, and then we'd be waiting in the car to see whether or not it
worked.
Are they gonna walk out in shame, or are they gonna walk out big boss out there with all the beer? And that night it happened.
McLovin.
one of the nights that we were successful. We took all the beer back to my house, and I don't think my mom was home. We went into my room and all started cracking beers, and then I just pulled out the guitar, and that song was about 10 minutes later. All of us, it was done, and everybody was singing it, and it became kind of like an anthem for I'd get people calling me going, I'm in Florida, how do we hear the song, and I'm going, I don't know, go to YouTube, maybe it's on there or something. So yeah, like you say, 15 or 16 years in the making.
Yes. How long has music been in your family?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, that's before my time.
No, I mean in you.
Oh, and yeah.
Because if you're writing songs right after you got the beer from the gas station.
Yeah.
Something kind of fed that fire.
Yeah, no, I've been I've been writing for a long time, playing music ever since I was little. Constantly surrounded by, my brother's older than me, and he played, we had kind of that similar, I don't know if y'all know the story, Eddie and Alex Van Halen, they switched instruments at a young age. We did the same thing. My dad got me a drum set and my brother a guitar, and we had rooms across this hallway, and I never really cared about playing drums, and I kept coming into my room, and my drum heads would all be smashed up and beaten down, and I'm going, what is happening here? And I kept doing the same thing. I'd sneak into my brother's room and play his Fender. He got a Fender Strat, and I kept playing that, and then a Christmas or two later, my dad realized he had made a mistake, so he switched us out on instruments, and my brother's been a drummer ever since. So,
That's a good
my dad,
band manager of a dead.
yeah. And my dad played all around Houston and Katy and around the States, and And so, it was kind of hard to stay away from it even if I wanted to. I think my dad would have preferred both of us to become lawyers or something, but, he was kind of responsible, I'd say, for us falling into the musician trap.
Yep.
So, thanks, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the couple songs that you talked about, it's the writing process is very like personal to you. But I did wonder kind of just, like if Dad gave you tips, your uncle gave you any kind of like, what the songwriting process is different than playing. So,
Yeah, my uncle, he'd like to tell me, Colton, you're going to want to get a real job. Thanks. Okay. Thanks.
That honestly is some solid advice.
Yeah. It's a rarity that, it's a rarity that somebody has quite a bit of success, but that's kind of where every musician is still playing for a reason, and it's because you can't. It's hard to stop. I'd say that would be my heroine is playing, playing the guitar.
Your spins the guitar.
The amount of the amount of times I just pick up the guitar and play in the house, and sometimes you sit down. Not every song I write is extremely personal. Sometimes I just go, here's an idea, here's a here's a line or here's a hook and write something around that. But yeah, it just so happens the first two we've been jamming are complete personal songs, so it is what it is. But
so how long ago did you write this song?
How long ago?
Yeah, how long ago was that?
Would have been 2008.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, 2000. Yeah. I was in high school, so yeah, it would have been 2008 or 2009. But high school, and we weren't supposed to be drinking. And as soon as I wrote that song, it was like, all right, we got to keep going and get more beer. From then on, my friends.
Song, fellas.
It really became like one of those. Anytime we went somewhere, play fake ID, you got to show them. And maybe because they were all in the room when I'm writing it, so it felt like this big collaboration, even though they were just slamming beers and I'm over there in the corner just going. It was like 6 or 8 minutes that it was done, and then I go, all right, let's try it out, and I just started jamming. Everybody was.
Oh, those are your first groupies.
Yeah. A bunch of my friends. Yeah. So that was, but that was a fun one. For years to come, that was kind of always like that anthem between us, and anybody we got around that was friends with us was Fake ID. So that was it was well worth. Kind of the personal experience in that song that I had to end up going through. You know what I mean? So.
And you ended up in jail.
Yeah. Hey, alcohol related and moved past that. So.
Is it harder or easier to spot a fake ID now than it used to be back in the day? I'm asking you.
I
have no idea. Some people look young, and then you're just kind of like, can we go? There's a lot of that, but hell, the older I get, everyone looks young. I think that's the problem. I'm like, look at this baby. It's like, Tom, that person's 30. I was like, everyone just starts to. It's a weird thing happens in life, right? Because I think you reach a point where everyone looks young, but then also there's this other flip happens where, and this is totally off the subject of music, but where you have your dad, you have your parents in the world, and you're a kid, but then at some point the difference between if I'm at a bar and I'm talking to a 60-year-old, the difference when I was 25, there was a big thing in our way, but then you become 35, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're the same. We're adults with different problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I think I kind of got used to being around older people from playing right when I got out of high school. I went and started playing with my dad's band, and so we were playing at bars and all that, and you know, it's almost everywhere we played was usually 25 plus, you know, so I'm like 18, 19, drinking of course, but yeah, so I was around nothing but older people for a long time, just playing shows, and you know, so it was I don't feel as kind of like what you're saying, the big gap. I don't feel like even when I was younger, like there was some giant gap, because I just got used to hanging out.
Well, to what you're saying though, Tom, is looking up at the gap, not really a big deal, but looking down at the gap, all of a sudden I'm like, man, that kid's like 15 years old. It's like, no, man, that kid's 35. You know, it's just like, have you checked that ID?
Yeah.
No, man, you don't need to.
Yeah, but at some point there's a great equalizer. Like, you know, we have a mutual buddy like Rodney Campbell, and Rodney he'll talk about Coleton. He'll be like, man, Coleton got some good pipes. You know, like, and because now you're just like looking at talent, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And Coleton does have good pipes. Also, Coleton can hold a crowd, and he can talk to a crowd. Speaking from experience, the no label. Remember that time I had you out there for 5 hours?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
5 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours, a 5-hour set.
The minimum is a 3-hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Springsteen's only like 3.5 hours. Come
Yeah.
on.
And like live music is, we're talking about this, about ChatGPT and all that stuff, but it can't replace live music. And for us at the brewery, like, you know, like sunshine, the crowd's there, live music, and there's this day that Coleton had the crowd. Like, you're talking about like, you know, when the yard's full, we're talking about like, you know, hundreds and maybe 1,000 people. You know, he has the crowd. And the second he stopped, like, it just started bleeding away. And I was like, no. I'm
back up there.
I'm going up to Coleton. I was like, hey man, if I can give you a little bit more money, you play an extra hour. It's like, Coleton's like, well, you know, I've been like, all right, I'll do it. You know, and then I'm like, yes. And then once hour 4 was over, so like, I'm like, it all starts to bleed again. I'll go to Coleton.
Yeah.
I was like, Coleton, listen. It's like, he's like, man, I've been drinking all these beers and I ran out of music to play.
Yeah.
I'm
Hefe's coming through.
Start from the beginning.
And then, and then hour 5 hit. I'm like, oh no. So I go back up to Coleton. And I'm like, hey man. He's like, Tom, I can't take any of your money. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
My hands hurt.
Yeah, I'm going, man. Yeah, and I'm not.
I can't feel my fingers.
I'm pretty bad about. I'm usually not great. If there's a good crowd, I'm really bad about taking a break. So usually when I do stuff like that, I end up playing like 3 hours or 4 hours without, you know, getting down, and then I go, damn. And
But it goes by fast.
I mean, I give a massive amount of credit to kind of the crowd work, I guess, to my dad, because watching him do it, he's phenomenal at it. And so I picked up some of it, and yeah, it you know,
I mean, you talk
can,
to him, you engage with them.
Yeah.
You hold them.
You can go and play good music, but there's a difference between just playing good music and then also getting people involved, you know, and getting them to laugh and getting them to engage with the whole thing, and it makes it a better experience, not just for them but for me. Like it's much better for me to sit there and feel like I'm almost playing a private, you know, thing with some friends than it does just showing up and nobody cares what's happening, you know, and you're just playing and you know, counting the minutes till it's over. So it's a win-win if I can entertain the crowd and entertain myself, you know, and have them kind of help.
It's like making love to a woman.
Yeah, it's just
you just
like
want
it.
some active participation.
Just like making love.
You want someone to be involved.
Just making love to the
Every once in a
crowd.
while, just like put the book down, you know, and pay attention. All right, on that note, let's take a break. All right, that's it, Battle Voices Radio. We'll be right back.
The needle's up, but we'll drop it back soon. See you after I grab the next round.
Key T Wellness, our friends down in Dickinson, is where you need to go if you're feeling sluggish, non-energetic, and non-motivated, not just when you're hungover. Get to know your numbers. As we get a little older, our hormone levels change, men and women. Key T Wellness can help. Weight loss, hormone optimization, low testosterone, B12, Botox, and more. KeyTWellness.com. Why not feel your best again? KeyTWellness.com. For over 30 years, the attorneys at Adley Law Firm have helped navigate their clients through car and truck accidents, premise liability claims, and other types of personal injury cases. They are board certified and have an aggressive reputation with insurance companies, and their caring approach to clients has made them one of Houston's best Google-reviewed personal injury firms. Live chat now with an Adley Law Firm representative at adleylawfirm.com or call 713-999-8669 for a free consultation. No fees unless they win your case. 713-999-8669.
Welcome to Vinyl Voices with your hosts, John Denman and Jesse Sandejas, where the music flows as freely as the beer.
Welcome back to Vinyl Voices Radio. I'm Jesse Sandejas. He's John Denman. Today we're visiting with Coleton Black and Tom Painter from No Label Brewery, and just enjoying some country music and all the stories behind them.
It's definitely been some stories, and what you guys have missed is what the stories in the breaks.
Yeah.
Those are always the best, but those can't air on the radio. So there's that aspect. But so next song, let's jump right into it. What are we going to listen to?
I have no idea. I don't know which one's queued up.
On Track.
On Track, yeah.
Oh, here's another.
On Track.
Here's another
So
music.
yeah, we'll jump right into this song, On Track, and then we'll talk about it.
I couldn't find the words to say, so I left without goodbye, moving on to better days. Without you in my life, please tell me, mister, where I can find the next train. I gotta get on track and out of this place. I wanna ride to the end of the earth, but that might be too damn far. And I know what I'm looking for is beyond the moon and stars. I wanna bury my head and myself in this place I've arrived in. I wanna meet all the spirits and then stay away. Maybe up in the mountains where I can let go of what I cling to. But no matter where I go, the problem comes back again and again. Please tell me whispers where I can finally let go. Get out from the grip that's holding me. I'm already at the end of the earth and it's just too damn far. And I know what I'm looking for is beyond the moon and stars. I can finally feel the cold coming down. Looks like I'll leave without goodbye. Now there's no chance or time to catch another train. No, it looks like I'm at the end of the line. Please tell me, river, where to go now. I don't see the signs that point the way. I'm already at the end of the road and I didn't make it through this far. Now I know what's beyond the moon and stars.
All right.
Yeah, I mean it's they seem to think that you got to do, I mean, the way they've been explaining it to me is just a long process that I don't know how to regurgitate. But
in the works for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And our main goal is to get it to radio. But yeah, I mean that song there was. It's funny you say hopeful because I feel like that was the last thing on my mind writing it. So that was a song about that's not a personal thing I went through, but it's kind of written about addiction. And so the whole time he's trying to get away. Some of the lyrics are "get out from this grip that's holding me." Want to go to the end of the earth, and it still might not be far enough, and not being able. And that was kind of one of those open-ended things where I left. It could be anybody's vice, where he's trying to get away from something, whether it's drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. And so yeah, just another depressing tune. So when you said hopeful, I'm going, well, I'm glad it's being perceived maybe that way.
Yeah, I mean, I took it that way just because of like the lyric is, it feels like it's, or I guess maybe the title has something to do with it too.
Yeah, I mean the on track was kind of and I think in the second verse he's talking about how do I get on track. But the end is kind of, I finally feel the cold coming down, like he couldn't
right. Couldn't do it.
Couldn't kick whatever it is.
Yeah.
And finally losing the battle. And, so that was just kind of one of those ones I sat down, or I wasn't sitting. If you know me well, I pace a lot. And so I was just walking around my kitchen island, and I went, I want to write something kind of weird and eclectic and that came, pretty quickly in like a 20-minute span, and marked it down and went, that's all right. And then wasn't even going to put it on the album, and we got in the studio, and Stormy Cooper, who's the producer on, and we were going through some of the songs, and he goes, these two sound pretty similar, and my suggestion would be to scratch one and replace it. And I said, all right, well, I wasn't prepared for this. This is like 8 minutes before we're going to start sessions with the band. They're all in there. I go, well, I wasn't prepared for this, but what, he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I have no idea. What do you suggest? And he said, I think we do On Track. And that's a different sounding song and real, got a strange but cool vibe to it. And then all the guys in the studio loved it when we were playing it. They were like, man, this is an awesome feel, and we love playing the song. I said, all right, well, I guess that sticks then. So
Yeah.
that's how that one, that was never really a realistic. I had sent him 30 songs, and just kind of asked him what his thoughts were, and that was never in my mind a realistic option for the. And then it turned out, it turned out I love it. And it really came together with all the guys doing some cool tricks on some of the instruments in there. The guy with the B3, and he did some cool stuff on there. And so it turned out we loved it. But yeah, it was never even supposed to be, on there. So that's how it goes.
Where do you guys record it?
Stormy Cooper's, Stormy Cooper Media over in Houston. He's a good dude. He plays bass for Roger Krager, but he also, he records a ton of people around town, and he was great. I didn't know, I was gonna go originally to Nashville, and a bunch of things just kept falling through, and I'm going, man, I was real excited to go do it, but I had always wanted to go record with him, and it just never worked out, and so I finally just said, dude, what do you think about doing the project? He loved the idea, and I was so happy I went in there because the guys were great, and it was relaxed. I've known him for a while, and a lot of the guys in there knew my dad and had played with him, or my Uncle Brian, or whoever, and so it was, they all had funny stories. As soon as I got in there, they were like, man, this is crazy, we're playing on your record, because I was on your dad's tour bus when the engine caught fire in 1995, you know, and I'm going, fantastic, let's go cut this record, you know, and yeah, they had some good stories to tell. So it was, you know, I didn't know how the experience was going to go. I'd never been in a studio setting where it was my stuff. I never heard any songs with a band until the day we went in. So this was all just stuff I sent of me on an acoustic guitar, and that was it. And then all of a sudden we went, all right, ready? Everybody got their charts, and we kicked in. It was like, wow, this is really cool.
Turned into
for
a
me.
song.
I mean, it was crazy to see, like, some of the songs that were 15 years in the making or something, all of a sudden just come to life, and in ways kind of I didn't foresee happening, but just happened. And things I never would have thought would have been there, and guys doing random things on instruments that I would have never heard in my head when I originally wrote the song. And I'm going, man, that's awesome. It just snapped together, and they were all so good that it just came together quick. And yeah, it was awesome.
That had to be like an out-of-body experience.
It really was. I say that was one of the
stuck in time,
craziest.
you know?
That was like that was in my I mean, top moments of my life, hearing some of these songs, just finally excited. It took so long to get in the studio and do my own stuff that it really was, like you're saying, it was wild. I'm sitting there in the studio, and at some point just kind of stopped playing because all these guys are just looking at the charts, just making my music come to light. You know, I'm going, this is wild. This is a crazy experience. And then as soon as I got out, I was like, so, you know, when are we going back in? You know, when's album 2? I mean, it was like playing, you know, they're all so good, you know, such good musicians. It was like, man, I can come up with 10 more songs by tomorrow, you know.
Yeah, this afternoon, man, we're not done, right?
Yeah, some of these other ones I didn't ever think would have a chance if they can listen to those.
I wrote a song about what's happening right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So it was,
go.
it really was a fantastic experience, and yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So it's been great.
No, I appreciate everybody for tuning in this week's show. You can find us online all over the place. Look up Vinyl Voices Radio. And on behalf of DJ Muskrush, Jason Esparza, Justin Deas, and myself, John Denman, thanks for tuning in this week. We'll talk to you next week.